Stacy,
Fancy that, my friend. Look at
hey, I
that.
just joined and the phone turned off. It went completely black and reset.
Oh, did it?
Wow. Yeah,
You know who I
they're
bet
on to us.
was? The
What do you
Russian
think?
hackers. That's probably
Definitely
any time anything goes wrong on my computer, you know who it is? Russian hackers.
Russian hackers.
Every
They don't want
time.
you to skateboard. They want you to ride scooters everywhere.
They want that skateboard, man. It's not enough to be out there in this cold and the ice. They need that miles board, the Phantom. So, but
Exactly.
which we'll get to. So, thank you very much for joining. To our audience here, let's let everyone know who the fabulous Rob Rast is. So, Rob is a serial entrepreneur based out of San Diego. He is the co-founder of FLX Bike, which earlier this year you guys may have heard of a little launch called the Baby Maker. It's an e-bike, yeah, bring a smile to anybody's face right there. And it raised over $13 million and set the record for most funds raised for a crowdfunding in the crowdfunding stage. And earlier this year, he's also the co-founder of Miles Board. This is their second launch for the Phantom e-board. Altogether, Rob has raised over $15 million on the platform. Rob, how you doing today, buddy?
It's a great day. I'm so happy to be here. This is our fourth campaign with Indiegogo. Every time it's been an absolute pleasure. We learn so many new things each time we run a new product with you guys, and it's amazing to be able to be on your platform to spread the word about the new products, because without you, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that, and we'll get into all things. We'll get into everything here in a bit, but here for a second, give us the 30-minute. That'd be quite the pitch, but the 30-second elevator pitch for the Phantom e-board.
Sweet. So I actually got one next to me. I'll try and
do tell.
Is the Phantom carbon fiber direct drive electric skateboard. What's special about this board is it's pretty compact. You can fit this in the locker at the gym, but with these powerful motors, you can go 30 miles per hour and a huge battery hidden inside here that will take you up to 30 miles per charge. And you can also climb crazy hills with it. So it's got crazy performance in a portable package and at quite an affordable price.
Yeah. Okay, so all that, great. And by the way, you ended that in 27 seconds. I counted it right here. So
perfect.
But so to all the viewers out there, please put a pin in that. We're going to come back to it. We're going to talk all things Phantom and Miles Board here in a second. But I wanted to first, let's talk, just get this out of the way in terms of Baby Maker. For those that are tuning in right now, what's going on with Baby Maker and the shipping process?
Awesome. So, yeah, we ended the Baby Maker campaign in June of this year. We were estimating to ship the first units in September, and then going from there, we actually shipped the first ones in August, so a bit ahead of schedule on the first ones. Some of them are behind schedule, some of them are in front of schedule, but we shipped out already about 3,000 of 9,000 units. So we do still have our work cut out from us, and we're delivering close to 500 bikes a week now, building them both overseas in Spain as well as China, and shipping all around the world. So it's quite a project, massive project, but we have an amazing team behind it to get it done and deliver all the bikes.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Thank you for giving us that update. And you just referenced your team as well. So just in this moment of kind of uncertainty with COVID, how are you and the team holding up regarding COVID?
Yeah, it's definitely been a crazy time, since March. The lockdown actually started literally the day after we launched the Baby Maker campaign. We launched March 17th.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think they started in California March 18th. So ever since the Baby Maker was live, we've been in a lockdown state. Luckily for us, we are an essential business in California, being a very important part of the transportation infrastructure. So we're always shipping bikes, servicing bikes, and making sure that people that can't get around otherwise, they can at least get around on bikes. And we have seen a huge increase in the demand for bikes because people want to get outside the house, get some sun, some exercise, and it's such an important part of your health to be active. So we are staying in business. we're recommending some of our employees to stay at home and the rest of them to be here and observe the CDC guidelines.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really surprise me that people are just wanting to get out of the house, which is amazing to me because I've always considered myself something of a little bit of an introverted extrovert, to be very cliche about it. But it's really true because that's really the only way for me to keep any kind of sanity is just getting out of the house. So no wonder, the baby maker's doing so well, and so is the Phantom e-board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, we've seen an explosion in electric vehicle sales ever since the start of COVID. We thought it was going to kill the business, and it actually happened to be the other way around. So while it's so unfortunate that this is happening, a silver lining is that it has been very good for our business.
Yeah, well, you could say COVID in some ways has been a semi-charmed headline for you guys. So what is it about, do you consider yourself living any kind of semi-charmed kind of life, to use a Blink-182 reference since you're in SoCal?
Absolutely. I mean, here at SoCal, our low temperatures are like 60 degrees during the day. So I'm absolutely blessed to be here. And there's a saying that says, luck favors the prepared. It's all about working hard and really just trying things, especially when you launch a campaign on Indiegogo. You don't know if it's going to work or not, but you try it, and some of them fail, and you learn from that. Everything you try is a learning experience. You either win or you learn, and both of those are winning situations. And that experience accumulated really does give you that luck or the confidence or competence to succeed in the future.
Yeah. Well, tell me about that preparedness. Like, how did you find yourself in a situation where you're now, at the time that I described you as a serial entrepreneur, but tell me about your life before your first campaign, and then now how you prepare moving forward, how you prepare so that you are prepared for these launches.
Totally. So, it hasn't been all sunshine and roses, to be honest. The Phantom wasn't our first business. The Baby Maker wasn't my first business either. I actually started selling things on Craigslist and eBay. I'd buy a motorcycle, fix it up, and sell it when I was a kid. I dropped out of college, went to China, and started my first business there. And my goal was to make money with that business. I saw an opportunity to import wine into China. And the biggest thing I learned from that, it totally failed. I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't even know about the internet. No internet shop. I was just going around drinking wine with people and hoping they would buy it. But the biggest thing I learned was you got to do things for love and not for money. And that has completely turned my life around. Since that, I haven't done a single business that I'm not 1,000,000% passionate about. My businesses since then have been, nutritional supplements, which I love going to the gym, bikes, and skateboards. And I could do that stuff all day for no pay, which I do most of the time. And,
sure.
And that's really what gives you the power to succeed, when you can grind something out all day and absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, hold on. So tell me a little bit more about this wine. You importing red, you importing white? Because a red says something that a white does not, and vice versa. What do you do? What are you importing in? Just out of sheer curiosity.
Stacy, the funny thing about that, I hate to admit it, is I don't even like drinking wine. I hate drinking wine.
Me either.
So I was importing Cabernet and Merlot from California into China, and I had no clue what I was doing. It was silly. So I'm very glad to be out of that business and now into something I love.
Well, I'm sure if you're going out there and just drinking with other people and encouraging them to buy your wine, I'm sure you very much a learning experience, but I'm sure you had a good time doing it. So I did,
and I learned a lot.
Yeah,
mostly just Chinese swear words.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask that question on a different Instagram live. But
perfect.
Yeah. So, well, tell me what all went into, which one came first, Miles board or FLX? And by the way, I want to set the record straight for all those out there who are oscillating. Is it Flux or is it Flex? I know the answer, but do they?
Yeah. So that gets a lot of questions. Originally, when we started the company, it was Flux, FLUX. UX, like the flux capacitor. It kind of means it's like a state of electromagnetic change within a motor or an electrical circuit. So we thought that was a really cool name. And then it turns out after we did our first Indiegogo, we found a company in Germany called Flux Fahrrad, which is Flux Bicycle in German. And just to be able to secure better trademarks, we dropped the U out of our name. So true to our name, we changed it to FLX. And that's what it is now, FLX.
Okay, cool. So no flux, no flex, FLX.
No flux. In my heart, I still refer to it as flux a lot.
Awesome. Well,
so to answer your earlier question, Stacy, FLX came first before Milesboard, but way before then, you know, I've been into bikes and skateboards my whole life. I was in China for a while, and boosted boards came out, I believe, in 2012. They actually crowdfunded their first electric skateboard. It was the first mass market electric skateboard. And I saw it and thought, wow, that is amazing, but it's $2,000. I could never do that. What if you built one here using all the infrastructure in China? And at that time, there was just nothing available. You know, you couldn't get great motors, batteries. The electric vehicle technology at that point didn't really exist. And so it wasn't until a few years later, after the wine company, after the nutrition company, after having a regular 9-to-5 job, I had an Airbnb, and a guy came and stayed at it. His name was Pete. We got to chatting, hitting it off, had some beers, and he was taking my motorcycle around the city. He said, hey, there's a ton of electric scooters here. Why don't we get into this industry and bring these over to the States? So that started a 2-year kind of factory tour. We were looking for electric bikes, couldn't find anything we liked, so we ended up designing our own. That was about a 1.5 years getting prototypes and preparing for our first Indiegogo launch in 2016. We did that, and in 2 months, our first product raised $2 million on Indiegogo, 1.7 on your platform and 300 on our website. So that was an exciting launch to the business.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that is amazing. And then from there, you use that as a stepping stone into Baby Maker. And Baby Maker came how long after that?
Totally. So Baby Maker was exactly 4 years after that.
Yeah.
That was only our second bike campaign, but in the middle we did have a skateboard campaign. Yeah. So we kind of used FLX's success as a launch pad. I was like, great, now we finally have the technology and the resources to get into electric skateboards. I love them so much. So we launched our first electric skateboards in early 2018. Also on Indiegogo.
Yeah, so tell me about that. So what did you learn from your first skateboard launch into this one with Phantom? Because you're talking earlier about being prepared to win. So what did you learn from the first launch that you brought to this launch?
Totally. So a big thing from our first launch is timing. The timing wasn't great on it. You know, we spent a ton of time kind of prepping for this launch and everything. And then we ended up launching, I believe, in November. And so it took us into Thanksgiving where everybody was gone, and then also into Christmas. Maybe we launched in December. I can't really remember, but Christmas time, everybody's home with their families. It was so hard to get real attention on the campaign and on the marketing and everything. And people were spending time with their families, not looking at, you know, skateboards to buy and get months later. So that was a big learning experience, and the reason why we also launched the Phantom quite a bit earlier this year than we would have. So it was a bit of an aggressive launch, but we got it. We did, I think, 100K on day one, more than we did in the whole 30 days of our first campaign. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, tell me more about the launch. So what all went into Phantom, the design, and what was that process like?
Great. So let me show you. There's a lot of people building electric skateboards, and this is something you can actually do at home. A lot of people do choose to DIY a skateboard. So for us, there's really 3 key components of an electric skateboard. One is the deck. So you know, engineering a deck here, we've got something really special that you see. This drop deck here, this is something you commonly find on a downhill electric skateboard. And what it does is it gets your feet closer to the ground. So you have a lower center of gravity. It's more stable. And you also have this ridge that you can butt the heel of your foot against to really whip the skateboard around, and it makes it handle better. So you've got your deck. Your motors are super important. Direct drive motors. These are becoming a lot more popular now, but not many people have them yet. Yeah. So it's super powerful, super efficient. A lot of skateboards you see, they have a belt that runs the wheel. You hear this really noisy whine. That makes it so when you run out of batteries, you can't push the skateboard and ride it like normal. This you can. It also decreases the efficiency, so you get less range. But the direct drive motors are so powerful, so efficient, that you can get insane range. And part of the reason for that is because of the battery. So this battery, typical electric skateboards have an 18650 cell in it. So that's a cell, it's about 50% bigger than a AA battery. Yeah. This is a newer cell type that's used in the Tesla Model 3, and it's the highest capacity. You can get the absolute highest energy density possible in an electric cell right now, in a lithium cell right now. So we've packed this with 24 of those cells, and the battery, the juice in this thing is massive for its small size. It's twice as much as a boosted Stealth, which had big capacity at the time, 20% more voltage, and because of that, you can do the 30 miles. The other component here, I don't want to bore you guys too much, it's just the electric speed controller. So that's in here, and we use an off-the-shelf unit. It's from Hobby Wings. They're the most reputable guys in the business. They make a really good one. So when you can, we avoid building things from scratch. It's more building on the shoulders of giants. If there is something available that works great, use that. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. Yeah.
Well, so tell us, Rob, you're talking about the power. How fast will that thing go?
So, great question. So these are the optional cloud wheels. Yeah. They have a foam core. It's a little bit bigger than a stock wheel. This is 105 millimeters around. With these wheels, sure, I've gone 31 plus miles per hour on flats, which is we call shit your pants fast. Sorry to swear on the live.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You only said what everyone else was thinking.
Exactly. Yeah. With the stock wheel, you can do 28 miles per hour. This one, 30 plus miles per hour. And at that speed, what's really surprising to most folks is the board is actually super stable. And the reason for that is it's got a very rigid carbon fiber deck with the drop down. So, you'll be flying down the street, passing traffic on your way to the gym or wherever you're going. It's just an incredible experience.
That I don't doubt. And I hope you're wearing a helmet doing speeds at that.
Most times. Most of the time. When I do go that fast, absolutely. Yeah. I do get a lot of heat sometimes on social media because sometimes I'm not wearing a helmet, and I absolutely recommend everybody, they should be wearing a helmet on this. But also we got to talk about personal responsibility, because even with the helmet on, you can get killed on one of these things. You can get killed in a car accident. Your actions, your responsibilities. If I get hurt, and I have, we've got 16 staples in the back of my head. I take responsibility for it, learn from it, and move on.
Well, so tell me about the wheels on it, on the board. So it comes, you can use any skateboarding wheels, is that correct?
Pretty much. So there's two very common types of wheels. Let me put this around for you. Can you see it? All right. Yep. So this is an ABEC pattern, which is a very common. ABEC is a skateboard wheel company. So there's a lot of wheels built off this pattern, and they just pop right on there. It's literally one nut. Here, take it off. You can flip any ABEC wheel on there. And there's also another common one for orangutan wheels. It's called a Kegel hub. It's just got some holes in it. That's a very common wheel used by loaded boards, used by the boosted boards. So you can switch in this Kegel adapter to use any Kegel wheel. So with that, you're covering the majority of skateboard wheels out there down to a certain width. The motors are 63 millimeters in diameter, so you want to have a bigger wheel than that. We run 97 millimeter stock, and then the 105 optional, and you can go even bigger than that if you wanted to.
Well, it's the bigger wheels that you should use off-road. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. So with these cloud wheels, it's got some nice grip on it, and it also has a foam core, which it absorbs all the impacts on the road. So even when I'm on the road, honestly, I prefer the cloud wheels because we get some nasty roads here in San Diego. So
Sure.
you go to cracks in the sidewalk, rocks, etc., and it just floats right over them. You definitely want to be using that off-road as well. It's got more grip. You've got obviously a bigger wheel, so you can get over bigger things, and it's a sweet wheel.
Tell us, well, what experiences have you had taking it off-road?
Totally. So first, let me give you, so the drawback of the cloud wheel, because nothing is free in life, is that you'll get a little bit less range. So higher speed and a more comfortable ride, less range. If you use the stock wheels, you'll be able to get more range. So for the folks that want to go the furthest, stock wheels. If you want to go faster and have a more comfortable ride, cloud wheels.
What is the battery life on that? Which we haven't asked yet.
So with the cloud wheels, the stock wheels, again, you can get up to 30 miles. I did a range test on those. I did 29 miles the other day. The cloud wheels, we estimate between 15 to 20 miles conservatively, and it really depends on how you ride. We will be publishing a video about that soon, so stay tuned.
Will that get you from San Diego to Temecula? 20 miles?
I think it might. So you could go, our office here is right in the middle of San Diego, actually a bit further north of downtown. You could ride from here to Tijuana in one charge.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
Do you need some firecrackers? Hop on your Phantom board.
Exactly.
All right. So now you were telling me before we got off on that side tangent, you were telling me about one of the times that you were taking it off road. So tell me a little bit more.
So we've done, I mean, that's one of the most fun things about the board is you can just, it feels like a tank when you're riding it. So typically, you're riding on the streets, sidewalks, but if you're on the boardwalk, for example, you'll see patches of grass, patches of dirt, etc., and everybody else is stuck on the sidewalk. And the amount of head turns you get when you take a skateboard and go uphill in the grass or in the dirt is just insane. It's hilarious. There's some paths at San Diego's Liberty Station, which are like all dirt, and it's so much fun because you can take this thing in the dirt and you have a big dust trail behind you just flying. It looks like something from a Mad Max movie. So we'll have some more footage of that soon, but it is so much fun. Yeah. Also, you can take it. We don't recommend it because it will wear the board out faster, but on the kind of hard sand at the beach, you can just rip along that. It is an undescribable, once in a lifetime experience to be able to fly down the beach on a skateboard.
Yeah. Well, that I don't doubt. But if there's one thing I know about you guys and with content, I'm sure there's some content of this coming our way probably pretty soon.
Absolutely. So we're trying to push out one video every day. It's quite a challenge. Somebody's got to go out and ride a skateboard every day. So.
What a problem that must be. Somebody's got to go out there and ride that board.
Yeah. I wish I could stay in the office all day and do stretches.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, so, Rob, I got to say, now that we're abutting on our time here, we're coming to the end. Is there anything that I've asked or that hasn't been asked that you'd like to, that should be? I mean...
that's pretty much it. I did want to touch on the deliveries of the board. That's always
do tell. That's important.
In crowdfunding, two questions. One, am I going to get the board? The answer, absolutely yes. We guarantee the purchase of any product that we sell, whether it's a bike or a skateboard. And two, when are they coming? So we have two options for that. In advance of the Indiegogo campaign, I actually put down my money, a lot of money, actually, to build some boards. And they got on the water literally right when we launched the campaign. The purpose was to get reviews and stuff like that. So they're about to arrive at our San Diego location probably next week. So we offered a rush shipping option. So for the folks that want to get it before Christmas, if they choose rush shipping, they'll be able to do that. We have probably 20 spots left for that. And then the rest of the boards we're expecting around February. So pretty quick turnaround. And, we're so excited to see them in everybody's hands, get them riding around, especially the guys getting it for Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, that's an excellent gift to wake up on December 25th, and that's under the tree. So
Stacy, I am so mad we didn't have this technology when we were kids. I can't imagine getting an electric skateboard at 15, 16 years old. I would cry.
oh man, well, I would definitely cry too. It'd be, but from me running into trees. I'm very clumsy. I can't stand how I get from point A to point B, really beyond me. Not gonna lie. But all right. Well, Rob, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. If you're out there and you like what you've heard today, which I would hope you have been, so we have an Instagram Live takeover for Miles Board with Rob. They're doing it from December 10th through the 12th. Rob, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find me at rob.rast. We're also doing giveaways there. If you follow me, I do a skateboard giveaway pretty much every month. So hit me up there. We'll be posting some crazy content and no filter there. So don't be surprised if you see something crazy. You can also follow Miles Board. It's at Miles Board.
Yeah. And also FLX boards or FLX bikes too? Where can we find that one?
At FLX.bike is the account where you see all about the Baby Maker and our other bikes, and also an upcoming bike that we're preparing for next year.
Yeah. Well, that one I'm very excited for. Very excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited for all things Rob Rast. Let's just be 100% about it. So,
you're too nice, Stacy.
We'll tell everyone you know. But all right. Well, I guess have yourself a good weekend. It's Friday. Enjoy yourself. And Rob, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much, Stacy. Always a pleasure. Thanks for doing this, and I'll catch you soon.